Righteous treading the countenance of the Almighty One. Them of the heart of demons, the children of the heart of a lion. I know evil are move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. So people see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply brutality. We I say that they run down left mommy. This struggle they are roll with fight beginning. Our I.S.U.P.K has been baby. Something that happen now do not say to one man's way. We know that is a fulfillment of prophecy. Our eyes see them not build school is church and then it's church then the penitentiary never empty. Still playing on mental trick on me. Listen, you check you and me check me, and let's bring more love in our community. Them are the heart of a fool, the children of the heart of a lion. I know evil are move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. No, them are the heart of demons, the children of the heart of a lion. I know evil are move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Respect the father of the prophet Moses and Abraham. You have to respect the father of Jacob and Solomon. Respect the creator of many nations. He made the birds and made the bees, the fishes of the ocean, and one for them to gander with his mighty. And he made the man, he made woman, children, the future of the land. So who is you to disrespect the creator, man? 72 nations go down and crown him conquering one. It will be beautiful in the sight of God, the Holy One, to see the unification of my nation. Them of the heart of a pagan, watch them, the children of the heart of a lion. I know evil and move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them of the heart of demons, the children of the heart of a lion.
Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Today is the Sunday scripture breakdown class. Going to the scriptures and break them down. While you in church getting fed lies, you can come and get your questions answered with the true priests and prophets of the Lord. Anybody got any questions out here? Let's deal with them now before I get into my topic. Go ahead.
So my question is, my question is, like when dealing with demons, right? So like separation of, you know, demon from the person, spirit from the flesh. Like I know how to identify a demon. You understand? I even know how to battle a demon. But like what I have issues with is the casting out part. You understand? Because when a spirit is on a person and they're around the truth, that spirit's gonna get riled up anyway. You understand? That's how you know when you're dealing with a demon. You understand? So how to cut the demon and save the person.
Okay, now one thing about demons being that this is a spiritual, give me 2 Corinthians 10:4 first. Being that this is spiritual, you have to understand that the person that you're trying to cast the demon out of or help has to be willing to help you on the other end of it. It ain't all you. You know what I'm saying? You can't just cast the demon out and the person that has the demon don't want the demon cast out. So if the person that you're dealing with, that you love so much that you're trying to get this demon out of, does not want this demon out of them, the demon's not going to leave. It takes you and that person to work together to get that demon out. In any instance, when Christ was casting a demon out of somebody, somewhere in that the person had to do something. Like when the angel was stirring up the Jordan, that person who was ill, sick, or whatever had to make the effort to get into the water so that the demon can come off of them. So that's in any case. You can't want the demon off someone more than they want it off themselves. So read that first.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to pulling down of strongholds.
What? How do you become mighty through the Most High? Through what?
Through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
The way that they get strength in trying to fight their demons is to pull down the strongholds. Those things that's in their life that's holding them back from being destroyed, or from being free from that demon is what they need to fight to give up. So when I was in the world, my demon that was heavily on me was smoking. And I couldn't just say I want to stop smoking and never do anything to change it. So I had to pull down the stronghold of, I had to fight on my end and come to class on the spiritual end. So for my spiritual side, I came to class. For my side, I fought that demon every day. And when I came to class, the teacher fought the demon with me. So now we both fight. Scripture say that the word cut like a two-edged sword, going in and coming out. So I'm coming to class and I'm fighting it. The teacher's bringing out the precepts that's fighting it, and then it makes the demon leave. But if they come into class, but when they go home, they submitting to the demon, it ain't gonna work. Keep reading.
Con, that one con. Verse 5. Casting down imagination.
Casting down what?
Imagination.
First thing that they have to do is stop thinking that what they're doing is right. The imagination is, smoking weed is from the earth. And it's a medicine. And there's nothing wrong with it. God gave it to us. That imagination is what I had to cast down first. In order to what? Read.
Con. And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
I had to cast down everything that was against the knowledge of God. Smoking is against the knowledge of God. So in my mind, I had to get rid of that thought that it was good. When I was able to do that, then I was able to get rid of that demon. Fighting the demon is actually fighting yourself, because the demon lives where? In you. So the biggest thing about it is some people are not willing to fight themselves. Some people are more willing to take on other people's battles than take on their own battles. So you can want a demon out of somebody, but the question is, do they want the demon out? Because that demon lives there. That's his house. And you kicking him out means he's getting evicted. He's getting kicked out of his home. So how would you feel if you went home right now and the constables were standing at your door telling you you had to leave? How would you feel? You done paid your rent, you done paid your light bill, your water bill, you up to date, you're not behind on nothing. You make sure you smoke every day. You know what I'm saying? You are up to payment. But then you come home one day and the constable standing outside like, hey man, you got to get your stuff and go. What are you going to do? And what are you going to do?
Fight.
You're going to do what?
Fight.
You're going to fight. You're going to fight to stay in your house, because this is your house and you don't have the right to take me out. This is my house. I'm the one that pays the bills here. You know what I'm saying? That's what the demons feel like. So you kicking the demon out of his home. Somebody give me Matthew 12. 12 and 43. Ain't nobody gonna take it lightly when you just kick them out of their house. Your body is a temple. Your body is, let me see if I can find it. Somebody give me the body as the temple. Right, somebody find that for me as well. You hold what you got in Matthew. Somebody find me your body as the temple first. That'll help you understand all of this. Temple is a dwelling place. And the Lord dwells in you. You are his dwelling place. You are where Christ lives. Suppose, read it. 1 Corinthians what?
1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19 and 20.
Yeah, read that.
You got it wrong.
1 Corinthians 6 and 20.
6, 19, and 20.
19, okay. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own.
No, this is my body. I can do what I want to do with it.
And ye are not your own.
Keep reading.
Verse 20. For ye are bought with a price.
You are bought with a price. What price are you bought with? The blood of Christ, his death. He purchased you when he died for you. He takes the payment for your sins. Keep reading.
For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God.
No, which belong to you.
Which are God.
So your body belongs to the Most High, but you living in the Most High's body. The Most High is the landlord. And you are living in the landlord's house, however you want to live in it. So what would a landlord do if he pull up on the property? You ain't cutting your yard. You got holes all in the walls. The house got graffiti all over it. The property value is going down. So what is he going to do? He's going to kick you out. Well, that's what the Lord is going to do. The Lord is looking at your body like, I'm either going to kill you or I'm going to kill you. You're going to either clean this house up or I'm going to get rid of you. That's what you're going to do. Now read what you got in Matthew.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of the man, he walketh through dry places.
So when you come to class, you fight some of those demons. But when that demon comes out of you, he does what?
He walketh through dry places.
He walks in dry places. In you, there's food, there's water, there's a comfortable place to stay. But when he get kicked out, it's a dry place. He ain't got nowhere to sleep comfortably. Keep reading.
Con, seeking rest and findeth none.
What does it mean by seeking rest? Looking for another body. He's looking for somebody else to join too, but nobody's house is tailor-made like the house he already had. He already had a house to where he could junk it up the way he wanted to junk it up. But some other houses he look at, he like, nah, they ain't doing too much. I don't want to smoke crack. I just want to smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Con, verse 44. Then he said, I'll return into my house.
I'm going to return to my what?
Into my house.
What is the house he got kicked out of?
Us.
The body. Your body is a living place for demons or for the righteous or for Christ. He read.
Con. From whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
But when he come and see you again, after you kicked him out, the house is clean. You done cleaned up. You done changed your life around. So now, you stop smoking. You stop eating pork. You stop being dirty and defiling your temple. So what does he have to do? Read.
Con. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
So you learn the truth, you get them demons out for you, and when you get them demons out for you, now they sitting out waiting for you to mess up again so they can get back in. And as soon as you make that mistake, they come in and they see that you are stronger, you are a little more different. So now he need to go get 7 more demons that's stronger than him. So at first you had a weed problem. That's what you had at first. But then you start smoking K2, popping pills and sipping drink and smoking crack and doing heroin. and doing all this extra stuff because now you got 7 other demons that came in with your demon. Keep reading.
Con out of one con. And it's like you. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
Mm-hmm.
Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
So the way you deal with a demon is, first of all, the person has to want to get the demon off of you. Second of all, you deal with the way you find out if somebody really wants the demon off of them, invite them to class. Just invite them to class. If they got enough strength to come to class, that's them fighting. When they get in class, that is, now what's going to happen after they come to class is what's going to happen after they come to class.
It's going to be World War III when you get home.
When they get home, it's going down. Them demons are going to be mad because they know this is the eviction office. So now the war has started. Them demons are, like, you come to class, the demons know what this is. They know who we are. They know what this place means. They know what this smell is. They remember this. And they like, no, he found it. She found it. We got to kill her now. Now we got to go ahead and kill them before they kick us out. Because if they don't kill you before they get kicked out, then what happens to them? They got to find somewhere else to go, but they didn't complete their orders. Angels got orders to complete. Demons have orders to complete. Their orders to complete was to kill you. That was their job. And by them not doing it, they got to go back before the Most High and say, I couldn't do it. And they want to get a rank raise the same way you want to get a rank raise. The same way you want to get glorified by the Most High and get a crown on your head, they want to get glorified. So they looking at it like, I gotta kill him before it's too late. That happened in the Bible with the man that stayed in the tomb. He lived in the tomb. Christ came through the tomb and saw him, and he said, oh, is it time yet? Is it time for you to torture me? And he was like, well, yeah, it's time for you to get up out of him. He's like, well, let me go into them swine. Let me go into them pigs over there. And when Christ cast them out, he sent them into the pig. What did they do when they got to the pigs?
They ran off the cliff.
They ran off the cliff and drowned themselves in the water. How many pigs were in the field? It was 1,000. This one man had over 1,000 demons on him. That's how strong we are.
That's right, because they said after the people witnessed it, they were in such terror that all the pigs ran off the cliff that they told them to get out of the country.
Right. 1,000 demons came out of one man. That's what the average Black, Hispanic, and Native American man got in there. Thousands of demons. So when they did that, those pigs ran and jumped directly into the water and drowned themselves because their job was to kill him. Their job wasn't just to hurt him. Their job wasn't just to put them through stuff. Their job was to destroy them utterly and kill them. That's what demons are. That's what their job is to do. Go ahead.
So also my question is like, so say like, I understand that part, right? When you're casting out, a demon, like out of someone that you care about, and that person is making their best effort to fight, to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I understand that it's easier. But like, I was kind of like speaking like more along like in a situation like in Acts chapter 16, where you had that woman that was a witch, and she was basically persecuting, harassing, and mocking the prophets, talking about these dudes, he's the truth, they the truth. And like, after a while she was walking behind him, one of the disciples just got tired of it, and he cast a demon out of him. So I guess I'm speaking more along those lines of the ones that aren't necessarily searching the truth, but like when we at camp, you know, you got the the demons that come out of the woodwork to mock the priests and prophets of the Lord, and they be on our people. You know what I'm saying? And like, in Matthew 18:15, the whole purpose is to gain a brother, gain a sister, and we know that they not in their right mind, and they destroy it for lack of knowledge. So in this situation, like, how do we like destroy that stronghold? It, basically, yeah.
What did the disciples have on them?
The
Why
Holy
were they
Spirit.
able to do what?
The Holy Spirit.
And what happened before that? What did Christ give them? What was given to them, the disciples at that time? Huh? Not discernment.
I guess the power that Christ had.
They was given the power to do all of those things that they was given to do. And that is why they were such a threat. Because that is what we are proving, that we are the ones that Christ is going to give that power to. That is what makes us so dangerous. Because we're doing minor miracles without the power. Now, just imagine how much of a miracle it is for a white man to get down on his knees and kiss your boots.
Right.
That's a miracle. And they see that the Lord is dealing with us. So when the Lord pours his spirit out on us to where we are actually touching people and they're getting up out of wheelchairs and raising the dead, that's just going to be an everyday, that's just going to be light work. And that's what this school is for. This school is to build and raise those men up of old. The spirit of the prophets are subjected to the prophets. So we are raising up those men to do those mighty works. But first you have to have training. The disciples got trained by who? Christ. Christ trained them and showed them what they was up against, and Christ did those type of things in front of them. So they knew how to do it. They had to be trained first. Being able to, like I said, the people who wanted to get demons cast out of them, they came to them and cried out. That lady at Acts, she came to them crying out. The lady in her was saying, they the truth, but the demon in her was saying, but don't listen to them. You see what I'm saying? They fighting each other. You got the person in them that's trying to cry out, but the demon is stronger. We will be getting power one day, Lord willing, to tell that demon to leave. And he's going to have to leave. Answer a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else got a question? Go ahead.
I got a question in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23.
Proverbs 4:23. Let's get it.
It's the book of Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Okay, what's the question?
So, like, when it says keep thy heart with all diligence, now, and then it says for out of it are the issues of life. So, like, this with my understanding that I have, it says keep your heart with all diligence. It's talking about your mind. We know that the mind is the heart that the Bible is talking about.
Right.
So when it's talking about with all diligence, is that talking about the law, statutes, and commandments? Is that what it's talking about when it's talking about the diligence?
Read that script. Read it again. Keep thy heart diligent. What?
Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Keep your heart with all diligence. Keep your mind right, because out of your mind comes the issues of life. Whatever you think, that's what you what? That's what you do. So your actions bring all of the issues of life up. Yeah, so if you keep your mind right, if you keep your your mind and your spirit intact with what the Most High wants you to do, then you won't do things to get you in trouble. Read the next verse.
Put away from thee a forward mouth and perceive it perverse lips put far from thee.
Stop talking so much. Stop talking so much noise. Stay out of people's business. Stop gossiping. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you would do if your heart is right. If your mind is right. Keep reading.
Let thy eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee.
Let your eyes look straight, and let your eyelids look straight before you. Mean, keep your eyes front. Stay walking straight in a straight and narrow way. Don't look to the right or the left, because you're going to look over there and see somebody doing something that looks fun, and you're going to say, well, let me just veer off for a few minutes and just see what's going on. Or you're going to look this way and say, man, you smell that? It sure smell good. Let me just go over there and just tap it one time and see what it's talking about. And you're going to be right back caught up, and you ain't going to never get back straight. So keep your eyes straight. It's happening. They over here having threesomes. They over here smoking weed and having fun and doing all of this. Don't look to the left or the right. Keep your eyes straight. Keep reading.
26. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established.
When you're thinking about what your steps need to be, they need to be established steps. We shoot from the hip a lot. You know what I'm saying? We just do whatever. What do people say? I just do what feels right. Whatever my heart tell me, that's what I do what my heart tell me to do. What does the scripture say about the heart? The heart is deceitful, and it is wicked. So your heart, what does it say? My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. You know who's telling them no? His body was like, his real conscience was saying don't do it, but his flesh, his heart was like, but damn, no, look at her. Right. That's why R. Kelly out here sleeping with 13-year-olds and 15-year-olds, because he can't control his flesh. I'm an old man, and I'm an older man that love all women. Keep reading.
Verse 27. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from me.
That's right.
I just said that. Ask you a question. I swear. Anybody else? Go ahead. How do we know that everybody is not from Africa?
No, like I was talking to my mom and I was telling her that blacks and Africans are not the same. She's like, how is it not that we all from Africa? That's what a lot of people like to say.
Oh, okay, we all from Africa. There you go. So first of all, we're not all from Africa. None of us are from Africa. Let me tell you what happened. Let's say right now we turned on the news and they said Russia is coming to Texas to kill everybody in Texas, right? Let's say that, right? So we run down into Mexico, right? Then the Russians come to Mexico and put us on their planes and take us. Who are the Russians going to think they got? Who? The Mexicans. That's it right there in a nutshell. 70 AD, we ran down into Africa to hide from the Romans because they was trying to come and put us in slavery. As we ran down there and hid in Africa, the white man got with the Africans and said, look, I can't tell the difference between y'all and them because we want the Jews. So why don't you get those Jews, because y'all know the difference between y'all people and our people. Why don't you get those people, round them up, sell them to me, and I'll make trade with you. That's the transatlantic slave trade. White man came back with boats full of tobacco and all that kind of stuff that they got. And then they just shipped us. And the reason we don't know we're the same people is because of boat stops. So, people were dropped off in Jamaica, people were dropped off in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Colombia, all over the earth. And that makes us think we're different people. But we are a family that was just scattered all over the earth. We're not from Africa. We ran into Africa to hide from the white man. Go ahead.
This is Babylon, from Babylon to Timbuktu, chapter 11, dealing with the origins of the white race. The end of page 18 and the beginning of page 19. The sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Because the world was populated from these three sons, it is proper to classify men according to this classification: Shemites, Hamites, Japhites, and not Caucasoids, Mongoloids, or Negroids. The latter category is a modern anthropological classification that we will deal with more thoroughly later. The part of the earth inhabited by the children of Shem were parts of the territory of Assyria and Elam, which is Persia, east of the Tigris River. The eastern part of Syria, parts of the Arabian Peninsula. All the children of Shem were black. This position will be supported by arguments facts later. The second classification of mankind was the Hamites, who controlled the greater center of civilization in ancient time, 4000 BC. Soon after the flood, civilization included the continent of Africa, the land of Canaan, parts of Arabia, Syria, Phoenicia, Turkey, Babylon, and southern Persia.
Under your Bible dictionary.
Okay.
He got it. Read it.
Ham. Out of the sun. Out of the sun.
Go ahead.
Ham. Out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
The real Africans are Hamites. We are not Hamites. We're Shemitic. The Negroes are not Africans. The Negroes are Jews. So just tell her to watch this class, and then she'll get that information that we just presented. And then y'all can get the books. And then if she really want to know, she'll find out that way. You may.
And also a fallacy, right? So the cradle of civilization is the Arabian Peninsula, right? From Mesopotamia all the way to east of the Nile River. You understand? That's where all crescent civilization comes from. Now, all the continents are separated by tectonic plates. There's the Arabian Peninsula or the Arabian Plate, and then there's the tectonic plate that's on Africa. They're separated. You understand? So people like to include the Middle East as a part of Africa, but it's not. They're on 2 separate tectonic plates. You understand? And that is the crescent of all civilization. All civilization started there and went east and west. All right?
No sweat. Anybody else got any more questions? No problem. I want to talk about, since the 4th of July is coming up, I want to talk about racism. People always talk about all men are created equal, we all the same, and all of that. I want to read an article out of this book right here. And I want to show you how biblical it is. Read what you got.
This is the New York Times bestseller, The New Jim Crow, The Mass Incarceration in the Age of Color Blindness by Michelle Alexander, page 2.
This is what I want you to understand. Do you know who made America great? Somebody tell me who made America great.
Israelite, sir.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, how did we make America great?
By building everything and growing everything.
Building everything, growing everything. But what is another way we made America great? Through our crimes. America is funded off of the crimes that you commit. The more we sin, the richer they become. Read what you got.
Khan Adawar Khan. In the era of color blindness, it is no longer socially permissible to use race, especially as a justification for discrimination.
So now that discrimination is over, supposedly, they can't use race to discriminate against you. So what? You read it.
As a justification for discrimination, exclusion, or social contempt. So we don't, rather than rely on race, we use our commercial justice system to label people of color criminals and then engage in all practices we supposedly left behind.
So listen to what it just said. They don't discriminate against you no more for race, but they can discriminate on you for being a criminal.
It's like your profile.
They can profile you. So what they do is the police officer will say, I shot him because I ran his name, or he didn't want me to run his name because he's a criminal. He looked like somebody that's on the wanted list in our office, so I shot him. I told him to put his hands up. He didn't want to put his hands up because he must be a criminal, so I shot him. The white man is now using your sin as a justifying way to kill you. And that's how he can reenact discrimination. Keep reading.
Khan Adawar Khan. Today, it is perfectly legal to discriminate against criminals in nearly all the ways that it was once legal to discriminate against African Americans.
Did you hear that? It is perfectly fine to discriminate against criminals the way they used to discriminate against us. You hear that? Keep reading.
Khan Adawar Khan. Once you're labeled a felon, the old forms of discrimination, employment discrimination, housing discrimination, denial of right to vote, denial of educational opportunities, denial of food stamps, and other public benefits, and exclusion from jury services are suddenly legal.
You see that? Once they label you as a criminal, as a thief, as a robber, you can't get any food stamps, you can't get any help, and they can discriminate against you because of your crime. Let's say you did something in middle school, you got an assault case because of a fight. Guess what? Once you grow up and mature and become a man or a woman that would never do those things again, you will never get a second chance because of something you did as a child. And that's what our children don't know. Our children don't know how important it is for them to be outstanding and righteous people. And that's what we got to teach them. We have to teach them the value. We got to teach them the value of being righteous. That's what we're here for. Or they'll be discriminated against for the rest of their lives. Keep reading.
As a criminal, you have scarcely more rights and arguably less respect than a black man living in Alabama in the height of Jim Crow.
You see that? As a criminal, it's like Jim Crow back in the day has been reinstated on you. And do you know why that can happen to you? Because the Lord said, if you are a sinner, he's going to let loose the curses on you. This is a curse from the Lord. And I'm showing you this in the American Jim Crow laws, that this is what the Lord prophesied would happen to us in Deuteronomy. Keep reading.
We have not ended racial caste in America. We have merely redesigned it.
Read that again.
We have not ended racial caste in America. We have merely redesigned it.
The racial caste has not been ended, but it has been reconstructed. The white man is the devil, and he just changed the verbiage. He changed the approach to what he's been doing forever. They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what they do now is say, you know what? We gave them crack. We gave them drugs. We gave them the guns. Now we hold them accountable for how they deal with them and how they act with them. Now, we're not making you smoke the weed. We're not making you smoke the crack. We gave you the gun. We put it in your community, but we're not telling you to shoot nobody. You can use it responsibly. It's your fault you killing up your own people. You can't get a tech or AR-15 from just anywhere. You understand? Those are military weapons that we now have in our high school kids have them, because they get them off the trains. And those trains come from the white man because he knows what he's doing. He sends the plug out to let somebody know in the hood, hey, it's a train coming through here on the 1st and the 3rd of the month, of the year, and it's going to change tracks in the hood. So it's going to go real slow. It's the 5th cart, got nothing but AR-15s and techs and this and that and pistols and all that in the 3rd. Man, I'll get it before it gets to the store. And as a teenager, you jump on that train, you snatch them guns off, and now you start selling them in the hood. Guess what happens when you sell them in the hood? Guess who you sell them to? Sell them to your own people, and who else? The laws. Sell them to the undercovers. So now you go to jail, and you are labeled a what? A criminal. Why are you selling the guns in the first place? Huh? To make money. Your mama got 8 kids. She can't work. She got a case, so she can't get food stamps or nothing like that. So you, as a young man, trying to help your mama, trying to feed your family, because this is the only way you know how to do it, because you've never seen a man in your house before, except all your uncles that sleep in the bed with your mama and leave weeks later. All of that. That's what you go through all your life. So you're trying to make a way for your family. You don't know how to do it properly. That's why we're here. We got to teach our people that discrimination ain't never left. It's just been redesigned. Keep reading.
Con out of one con. I reached the conclusion presented in his book reluctantly. 10 years ago, I would have argued strenuously against the central claim made here, namely that something akin to racial caste system currently exists in the United States. Mm-hmm. Indeed, if Barack Obama had been elected president back then, it would have argued that his election marked the nation's triumph over the racial caste.
See, we thought Obama was going to come in and save us from this. We thought he was the Black Jesus coming to free us from the racial caste. Give me the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11. Now we're going to see what the Bible says about this. We're going to see what the Bible says. Because once you see it in the Bible, then you're going to know that it's deeper than what it seems to be.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice.
What did the white man say? Read it again.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
He said, look, we're going to use the law to be our strength. We're going to set the laws up to a way to where it helps us. It's in our benefit. This is now our strength. Keep reading.
Count out of one con. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Who is feeble? Who are the feeble it's talking about? Somebody. Us. Yeah. Black people, Hispanics, Native Americans. They look at us like we are worth nothing. Keep reading.
Verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous.
Let us do what?
Let us lie in wait for the righteous.
They sit in the corners of the streets and lurk and wait for you, the righteous. The people who don't do anything. We are not good murderers. You know why? Because we get caught all the time. How many how many serial killer black people you know about? We kill one person, we go straight to jail. You shoot somebody, you go straight to jail. How many times have you heard about white people that got people in they deep freezer? They got a whole TV channel for how white people just kill people and get away with it for years because they are excellent criminals. You are not a good criminal. Do you know why you steal? Do you know why you kill? You steal because you're hungry. You kill because you don't know how to love one another. Everything that we go through is because of oppression. And we look at it like it's not oppression that's making us go through this. It's us. We got to understand that there's a full system that makes us have to react this way. And we just going into survival mode. It's designed to make you a criminal. So for us that are not criminals, for those that do not do the things that the system was designed for you to do, it is a miracle that you can walk around here and say, you don't have any felonies. It is a miracle. It is an absolute miracle for you to be a man or a woman and be in your 30s without a record. You know why? Because you got a whole system set up to oppress you. And you beat that. And you mean to tell me that we just so evil and wicked? No. You are the righteous. That's what the Bible just called you. Keep reading.
Because he is not for our turn.
Because they look at us and they say we are not for their terms. They see we used to have morals. We used to have, our women were beautiful women with which you couldn't see no part of their body. Now, I don't mean like the Arabs. I mean just classy and modest. You know what I'm saying? Our men used to be hardcore men that didn't love nobody else but our own people. And they used to hate that. But now what they had to do, they had to break our spirits. They had to make our men more like women and our women more like men. So what our women walk around saying? I'm a strong black woman. And what our men walk around saying? I can love whoever I want to love. Don't be mad at me because I love who I want to love. Now our men sound like women. And our women sound like men. That is a system set up to make you that way. Keep reading.
And he is clean contrary to our doing.
This is how you survive in America. By being what? Read that again.
He is clean contrary to our doing.
The only way you can survive in this hellhole is to be clean contrary to the doing of the white man. The white man has a law that says you can smoke weed. The law says you can. The law says you can be a homosexual. But you have to be clean contrary to their doing. No matter what they do, you don't do it. You don't be like the Joneses. You're not a Jones. You be like the Yasharalas. Because you are Yasharala. You understand? That's what you got to be. You got to be like Israel because you are Israel. You can't be like Mr. Bobby next door because you're not a part of his family. Read.
He upbraided us with the offering. I'm sorry. He upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
no matter how wise we are, no matter how smart we are, we always seem to fall for their tricks. And he can punish us once we fall for his tricks. So the only thing that can keep you safe is what? Not falling for his tricks. That's it. That is what makes. Did you hear what the quick? Give her the mic so she can say it again, because that's what makes the Christian church so evil. What did you just say?
I said, no, I said that's when we have to come together as brothers and sisters, because we may surpass where we see where our brother may be slipping at, and we're not a good brother or a sister, and we can't come up together if we only looking to come up on our own. Let
me ask you something. Do you know how many women have been raped just from the statistic? Just from the statistics. What is the statistics on black women on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans being raped? Women.
It's 1 in 4 children.
It is. I heard Jim Muhammad said it's 90% of our women that have been molested, raped by family members, church members, uncles, cousins, close friends, and all of that. That is why our people are so destroyed. That's what makes our women have to become hard, because they don't want to experience that anymore. Go ahead. That's the point I was finna get to. That's what makes the church so wicked, because they force you to keep it a secret. Something that everybody should know is a secret. So now what is that doing? Who is that protecting? The molester, the rapist, the child pedophile. That's what it's doing. You're protecting the one who needs to be put in the light to keep our daughters and our women safe.
To add on to your point, so if I could, because you know now it's the LGBTQ community. You know, they added a P for pedophilia.
Yeah.
Right.
They got pan too. It's some stuff called pan that mean I don't know. Look it up. It's some disgusting stuff.
So I had a precept.
Pansexual.
I had a precept. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So basically, like, just because it's okay for you to smoke weed now in the white man's government system, it's not expedient for your spirit, because it's unlawful to the Lord. You understand? Just because it's lawful for you to be a homosexual, it's not expedient to your spirit because it's unlawful to the Lord. Just now, because it's okay and socially acceptable to be a pedophile and to love children, be boy lovers like in the Greco-Roman society, it's not expedient to your spirit because it's unlawful to the Lord.
Right. That's what you got to understand. You got to put the Lord's word above everybody else's word. And our downfall has come from putting the white man's word over the Lord's word. The Bible is second to the white man's system. Go ahead.
And the reason why is because his word is smooth as butter.
But what's in his heart?
The war is in his heart.
But he only saying these smooth things just so he can kill you. Just so he can destroy you. Somebody give me Psalms. Mm-hmm. It's a good one. Give me Psalms 10 and 4.
You got it a lot more? Okay, no sweat.
Psalms 10 and 4.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
You know who are some wicked people that don't seek after God, but they say they love the Lord? Christians. You know what? The gay pride movement. The pride of his countenance. What is the countenance? How you walk, how you dress, how you look. You walking as a grown man, looking like a grown woman, but you say you love the Lord. Through your pride, you show that you don't love the Lord. The white man is the wicked, and you act like him. You take on his spirit. That whole homosexual stuff come from white people. We wasn't on that type of stuff. That's not us. But following after them, being more, watching them get away with it for so long makes us want to do it. A majority of the things that we do is because of us watching them. It's like watching the kid on the street that can talk back to his mama. And then you walk in the house and like, man, mama, you got me messed up. Until you get your tooth knocked loose. Then you like, okay, well, I can't do that here. I can't do that. Okay, well, let me try something else. That's what we did. We took their whole spirit and now we trying to embrace it fully. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And his ways are always grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Mm-hmm.
As for his enemies, he puffeth at them.
That's the white man. The white man is always puffing at his enemies, talking about how great he is, and he's always messing over everybody. He messes over everybody and everything. He messes over the food, GMO the food, lead in the water. Detroit ain't had good, clean water for how long? How many? At least somebody said a decade, almost a decade.
If it is, they didn't report it when as soon as it happened.
It's been more than 5 years. You understand? But he can build a wall in 2 years. He got this wall and it's almost done. He building the wall, but he can't give our brothers in Detroit clean water. Go ahead. And he killed those people who attempt to come to the land of the free.
And made it illegal for you to collect rainwater.
Right. And you become a felon for collecting rainwater. You see that? Water falls from the sky for free. You can go to jail for collecting that. The white man is the devil. That's real. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Verse 6. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
That's the white man's spirit. The white man's spirit says, I will never be in adversity. What does that mean? No one would ever defeat me. I will never be poor. I will never be low. I will never be at the bottom. Keep reading.
Verse 7. His mouth is full with cursing and deceit and fraud.
What kind of curses do the white man say? He say that Jesus is a white man. God is white. That is a curse. For you to say the creator is someone he hates. That's like saying God is a homosexual.
Right.
The Lord hates homosexuality. You say, you know what? God gay. Because he made me this way and I'm made in his image. That is the spirit of the white man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If God is white and God loves everybody, then how come the white man?
I can't hear you.
I said, if God is white and God loves everybody, how come the white man?
How come the white man what?
White man does.
Like,
Yeah.
why does he treat us like that?
Right. That's true. That's it right there. You understand? You got to understand that everything that we were taught was a lie. That's the hardest thing about coming to the truth. Actually being able to look back at your life and thinking about you just thought you was just living life so innocent and everything was all good when you were in sin. Keep reading.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
See that? Now, you notice they talk about no black man. Who sits in the hood with guns out trying to clock you? Who sits in the corners of the lurking places of the villages and tries to catch you up on some charges? Set speed trap. You got the cameraman out there watching how many people come knock on the door. He sits in the lurking places of the village. Read.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
In the where?
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Trayvon Martin was murdered for no reason. Sandra Bland was murdered for no reason. There are so many people all through history that have been murdered for no reason. He is killing innocent people, and you are looking at him like he is God. Like he's the saint, like he's an angel, like the Lord is supposed to love him too. And he does this as a race. The race of white people do this. You understand? This ain't not, okay, I may be going too far. Name another race of people that have killed more than white people. Anybody. So y'all won't say I'm taking it too far. Let's say this. All races kill their own races. Y'all agree with that? White people kill white people, black people kill black people, Chinese people kill Chinese people. Name another race of people that kill other races. There's no other race on earth that the white man has killed the Chinese, the Japanese, Vietnamese, the Asians, the white man, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans by the billions, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Palestinians, all the white man has killed every race on this earth in millions, by the millions. 3,000 Americans died in 9/11. Over 3 million have died since 9/11 in Iraq. 99 million of our people died in the transatlantic slave trade just trying to get here. 77 million Native Americans was killed and given, it was millions of people, thousands of people that was given smallpox. I mean, what other race is more destructive than the white man? I mean, just somebody name one. Somebody give me the runner-up. Who's the next runner-up? Nobody. Ain't nobody even close. And people get mad when we say that the white man is the devil. Okay, Christians say the devil come to do what? Kill, steal, and destroy. Let's examine that. Who has stolen more land than any other race of people on this earth? The white man. Who has killed more than the white man? We already established that's the white man. Who has destroyed more than the white man? Nobody. So who's the devil? I mean, it should be in your face. It should be simple. It's 1 + 1. Keep reading.
Con that a one con. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Go ahead. I gotta do this.
What kind, sir? No sweat. Hey, if I could have a brother read at verse 8. Psalm chapter 10, verse 8. So basically what we're talking about racism, you understand? And how these different nations use subtlety. You got it? Yes, sir.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. Mm-hmm. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
So every time that a dirty cop guns down a black man, Hispanic man, or a Native American man, 9 times out of 10, it's done in a secret place. It's done in the alley because 9 times out of 10, he was feeding this drug dealer to sell to his people. And when the drug dealer was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that no more. You dirty. I'm not messing with you. You a greedy pig and stuff like that. He guns him down. You understand? Or if it's a situation like Alton Sterling, I mean, the brother was just selling CDs, you understand, outside of a gas station. Does that warrant death? No. You understand? And he thought that he can get away with it because it was nighttime, wasn't that many people around. You understand? Same thing with Sandra Bland. Pulled her over on some random highway where it's not a lot of traffic. You understand? It was just his vehicle and her vehicle. He thought he was gonna get away with it. Same thing with Alton Sterling, Tamir Rice. You understand? Trayvon Martin. All of these slayings were happening in secret places. This is the spirit of the white man and the spirit of this nation. Keep reading.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
You understand? Because nobody cares about the poor. Nobody cares about the downtrodden. You understand? No one cares what happens to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We know that from the Dakota Pipeline. They went all the way to the United Nations. You understand? The United Nations was formed. America said, damn them. You understand? They built the pipeline, and then what they said was going to happen, happened. They poisoned their water supply. They desecrated their holy lands where their ancestors were buried. You understand? No one cares about what's happening in Venezuela. You understand? No one cares about what's happening with our Hispanic brothers and sisters because they're the lower class. No one cares that the black man isn't getting any jobs, that the black woman isn't getting any jobs. You understand? All they care about is that the upper crust middle class, white America, that they're taking care of. No one cares about what happens to the poor. That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And he preys on us. Every nation preys upon us. When you go up and down their street, all the Metro PCSs is Arabs and East Indians that run those stores. You understand? You go to your beauty supplies, it's Vietnamese and Asians that run those stores. Your nail salons and your nail techs, they're Vietnamese. You understand? Your grocery stores are owned by the white man. Your liquor stores are owned by the Asians. Your gas stations are owned by the East Indians and the Arabs and your subways. You got a comment, sis?
What's crazy is that all the other nations, even when it comes to selling their business, let's say they're going to give over a business, they would never give it to a black or Hispanic.
Right.
And to make my case, like everybody knows I work for the postal service, I deliver mail. Mm-hmm. So there's a spot that calls Postal Plus. It was owned by some East Indians. Well, the East Indians sold it to Moab.
Right.
They didn't sell it to a nigga.
Right.
And they won't.
Right. So, and what's interesting even more about that, that's the same mindset that we should have about the other nations. You understand? Why are you giving your money to these other nations when you know you got a brother and sister that selling? You know how many sisters I know that sell like black soap, different types of soap. You understand? Even liquid soaps. You know what I'm saying? You know how many brothers and sisters I know that sell wonderful oils and scented fragrances, but you want to smell like Louis Vuitton. You want to smell like Chanel No. 5. You understand? You know how many brothers like we sell detergent. You understand? So instead of buying detergent with your people, you rather get tired. You understand? Like there is a black business for everything that you can think of for catering. There's numerous black restaurants. You understand? But you want to go to the creme de la creme, or what's considered the top elite or Michelin star restaurants that's sponsored by the white man or by these other nations instead of supporting your people. You understand? You'll never rise above the condition of the status quo of your people. You understand? LeBron James is the greatest athlete of our generation. In the eyes of a white man, he's still a nigga. Right. He's $1 million slave. You understand? He's only as good as his sponsorships and his paycheck. Those sponsorships and those paychecks go away, guess what? He's just another nigga. You understand? Keep reading. Verse 9.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly, as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. Mm-hmm. He does catch the poor when he draws him into his net.
Why is there such high crime rate in the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American community? Anybody? Raise your hand. Your hands up first.
That's where all the drugs are. That's where all the poorest people are. So they have to steal and rob from their own kind just to try to make it another day.
But why is that? Exactly. Because of limited resources. You understand? You have some, sis? Right. So the scripture says oppression makes a wise man mad. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, we are the wisest people on the face of this earth. You understand? The reason why there's so much hatred and anger and crime in the Black, Hispanic, Native American community, it's like sis said, because of limited resource, because of economic impoverishment. You understand? If, okay, in this neighborhood, in this area, on this side of town, right? I only got 500 jobs, okay? And I'm only reserving 10 of those jobs for minorities, and I'm giving the rest to my people. So you got 10 jobs in a district or area of town. So you got all these niggas and SPICs and Hispanic and Native Americans fighting over it. You understand? So it's limited resource. So you end up hating your brother because he got the job that you applied for. You end up hating your brother or your sister because she got the promotion that you were gunning for. When that's where they want you. They want you at each other's throats. You understand? Because as long as we are divided, you understand, they can just prey on our insecurities. And our insecurity is the root word is in there, lack of security. So that's why the white man is able to separate the black man from the black woman. Now look, sister, you kick this black man out of the house, I'll make sure that you get welfare. You understand? You can get WIC. You understand? I even make it to where you can stay in a $1,000 apartment and you only gotta pay me $500 a month. $25. So like what you mean 500? So that's the game plan. You understand? To make the black man a eunuch. You understand? To castrate him economically to where that he can't provide for his household. You understand? Make the black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman feel as if they don't need them because they can get security somewhere else.
Go ahead, sis. Mm-hmm. First of all, you stand by your man while he going through the mud. Don't throw him away because he got hard times and he's unemployed, because you got to understand what's coming. What's coming? What are we working for? The kingdom. Is it the queendom? Is it the king and the queendom of heaven? It's the kingdom. So who's going to be in rulership? The man. So who has to be oppressed the hardest? The man. Because he is the one that's going to get a crown on his head. So the whole thing is to stop him from ever becoming who the Lord wants him to be. And the way you use that, the way you do it, is to attack his heart. And who is his heart? His wife. So now this woman is emasculating him, makes him feel less than a man. No matter how much he loves his children or to be there for his children, he don't want to be here. He don't want his kids to hear that he ain't shit and he can't do this and he this and that from his woman. So he does what? He leaves. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a remedy for it, love your man and stop talking so much shit.
Right.
That is a great remedy to help fix the black household. Stop looking. See, people look for marriages that have eject buttons. When you sleep with that man, you don't have an eject button. Right. That's your movie that you're going to watch for the rest of your life. You know what that means? That man that you slept with last night at the club, after the club, when you took him home to the house, that's your husband for the rest of your life. Now, the way you prevent that from happening is keep your goddamn legs closed. Stop sleeping with every damn body. And the way that you build a household is to stand by your man no matter what, man. That's the hard part because there's so many options. You know what I'm saying? You can go over here, you can go over here. Okay, let's say you leave this dude here and you go get you a man with a job. Let's say your dude didn't have a job, but he loved you. And even though he didn't have a job, he was in the house was clean. He did the best that he could do, you know what I'm saying, with what he had. You like, man, I need somebody that's gonna help me financially. I need some bread to come in here. All right, no problem. He brings some bread in. No, you go get you a man that's bringing in bread. He may not clean up, but you ain't tripping because you got more money. But you know what? He may like your daughter. He may be sleeping with his partners when he say he going to play basketball. Now, those problems you ain't have with that broke nigga, but you may have those problems with that next nigga with money. Right. So if the money is the thing that you waiting on or happy about, you can find plenty of Puff Daddy got money, but he may go to the studio and suck some rod. Right. But he got money. So which one do you want? You understand? That's what you gotta actually evaluate. You gotta evaluate what's worth it. You know what I'm saying? And what's gonna happen is you're gonna leave your man, the Lord gonna give you the desires of your heart. You want more money, he gonna give you more money. But he's going to let you see that you shouldn't have never left that first man. Because after this other nigga beats your ass with all his money, sleeps with your daughter with all his money, keeps your house dirty and just do whatever you want to do with all his money, then Tyrone ain't gonna look so bad. You're gonna look back at Tyrone like, I miss Tyrone. He used to keep the house clean. He could show cook. You understand? Oh man, I mean, we used to laugh and have so much fun. Now you scared because Tyreek is in the house beating the hell out of you. So, and another remedy for that is, give me Isaiah 4:1. That's an excellent remedy for that. The Lord got a remedy for it. Let me show you the Lord's remedy. To help build houses, to help build the black community.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in the day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying...
Say that again. They may miss that.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
You want to fix and build a black house? How about 7 women take hold of one man? Because you know what's going to happen? When he get in the kingdom and get a crown in his head, none of that's going to matter. All that, oh, this is my man. Oh, that's not going to matter. You're going to just want to be called by his name. You just going to want to be a part of the house of LeBron James. Just imagine LeBron James right now. He's a millionaire. He got all this money. If LeBron James had 4 wives, nobody would be mad at him. The women wouldn't be mad. Everybody would be happy. Everybody would just be living a happy life. But the problem is you don't respect the man because he don't have money. But if the man had a lot of money, it wouldn't be a problem. So you want a man to build you up, but you don't want to build a man up. That's the problem. That's selfish. Keep reading.
Saying, we will eat our own bread.
This woman is saying, I got my own food.
And wear our own apparel.
I got my own clothes.
Only let us be called by thy name.
Only let us be called by whose name?
Thy name.
No, the dude in my text messages.
Thy name.
In my inbox.
Thy name.
Only let us be called by whose name?
Thy name.
By his name to do what?
Take away our reproach.
What is reproach? A bad name, shame, what people call you. Before you got with him, they called you a go-liver, a hoe. You understand? When you get with him, they know you not that. Because that brother don't play that. He's a solid brother. This brother is an outstanding brother. He's a priest and prophet of the Lord. He's out here doing this work, and you with him. So he takes away your bad name, gives you a good name, and you can build with him. Let me ask y'all a question. How did the priests used to eat in the Bible? Wait, let me ask you a question. Who were the priests in the Bible? Who was the priest? There were a tribe of priests. The Levi, the Levitical priesthood, right? Now, y'all need to catch this, and need to pay attention. The tribe of Levi was the tribe of the priests. When we got our inheritance, what did they get for an inheritance? Nothing. So do you hear me? The Levi were the priests of Levi, the Levites. All they did all day was the work of the Lord. All day. They like the firemen. They stayed in the temple. Like how the firemen stay in the firehouse. And every time somebody got something that they need, they got to go run to it. So every time something happened, if it's a fire, they got to go put it out. If it's a fight, they the police. If it's somebody gets sick, they the doctors. That was Levi. That is why our people pay tithes. To do what? To take care of the priest. That's what priest funds is for. Because we do the work of the Lord. So you give the money to the priest so that we can work for the Lord and not have to slave for the white man. So we can build our people up and not have to slave for everybody else. Who gets our priest fund? No, not the government. Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes. Niggas that do nothing for the people. The liars. Now, imagine if we was getting those priest funds like they was getting priest funds. Well, now, what problem would there be? No problem. Problem is, our people are investing their money into the wrong place. We are investing our time to the wrong place. We're giving our energy to the wrong people. We should be building up each other. People, women and men should be coming here and paying tithes and priest funds, building up these brothers so we can build up and grow this. The faster we do this, then what comes out of that? Huh? The kingdom. The kingdom is well within us. So all we got to do to bring the kingdom out is come together and build it. We need every hand on deck. We need every brother and sister to work together. Give me Acts 4. Let me show y'all something. Acts 4 and 32, I think that's what I need.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 32. And the multitude of them that believed of one heart and one soul.
Wait a minute. The people that believed was of what?
One heart and one soul. Neither said any of them aught of the things which he possessed was his own.
Now, did you hear what it just said? Read that again.
And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own way. But they had all things in common.
They had what?
All things in common.
Now, what's the problem with us is we have wealth in our community. But it's whose wealth? It's my wealth. It's his wealth. Now, us two sitting here together, we could be $200,000 sitting up here. 200 easy. But this is $100,000 and this is $100,000. If we put that together, it's more than him being by himself. Now imagine all of us put all of our stuff together to where how it is when you with your partners. And if I got it, you got it. Now imagine if you was like that with your nation. Why would people be sleeping under the freeway? Why would people be hungry? There would be no hungry people. There would be no hungry homeless people like you don't see any hungry homeless Chinese people. Go ahead. Right. That's exactly right. They'll go half on you at the bottom. They'll turn up with you. They'll go half with you on the stack. They'll go half on you they're gonna pay your way to get in the strip club. But guess what? Hey man, I'm trying to open this business. They support my business. Oh man, you know, all right, yeah, yeah, man, do your thing. Hey man, share my business online. You know what I'm saying? On your page, you share everything else. Hey, share this. All right, you know, I don't like pushing that type of stuff on my page. Like, we don't have brotherhood. We use each other. That's it. That's it. That's the problem with us. The reason we in the condition we in because we don't know how to love one another. And we give our love to the wrong people. We give our love to the people that don't deserve our love, like the white man. We try to make him know and understand that I'm not like them. I know you think that I'm not a felon. I'm not a crook. I'm not a murderer. I'm a good one. I'm educated. I'm a good Negro. I'm an educated Negro. I went to college. I got a degree. I'm a teacher. I'm this and that. To the white man, you are a nigga. Just like you should see him and say he's a devil. That don't mean you gotta hate him and just stop everything. Every time you see him, you just be like, don't come over here, devil. No, you just should know that when he talks, he's lying. When he smiles, it's lying. When he acts like he's your friend, he's not. Yeah. The smile with no teeth. The white man smile. That's built in a nation. Well, we need one. We need a nigga smile. I know you about to come with that bullshit. Okay. How you doing? That's what you need. You need a universal smile. The problem is you love white people so much. Boy, if you could love a black person like you love white people, we will be in the kingdom. Right. And this scripture just said that all the multitude had one heart, meaning one mind, one soul. They believed the same thing, and everything they had was all their own, meaning they all shared. They all worked together. Hold on, I'm looking for a lady at their feet. Read the next verse.
Verse 33, and the great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Yahushua, and great grace was upon them all.
Read verse 37. This is what I need right here.
Verse 37, having land.
The people having what?
Land.
And did what?
Sold it.
They sold it and what?
And brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet.
You hear that? You know what they did? They came to the priests and prophets and said, we don't know what to do with it. Y'all do. That's brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what? You got an 8-bedroom house and you ain't got no kids. You don't need an 8-bedroom house. But Shaniqua with them 7 kids, she needs that. She needs help. Sell it. We'll put Shaniqua in this 8-bedroom house and we'll put you in a nice apartment. Because that's what you need. You need to be content with what you have. We are so greedy because we look at cribs and we look at how white people live and we want that type of lifestyle. You are not going to get the kingdom of heaven in hell. Stop thinking like that. You think that Christ died for you to live in the kingdom and he not on the throne? Is Christ in on the throne right now? He gave his life to sit on the throne, right? Why should you get the kingdom before him? Why should you get rest and peace before Christ? Go ahead. Go, put the mic so we can hear you.
Following up with that comment, are you allowed to prosper?
Yes, you're allowed to prosper.
So it's okay that you do make $1 million and it's not like a negative thing.
No, that's not a negative thing.
Just what you do with the money?
Just pay your tithes. Bring some of that in here so we can build this. Go ahead.
Also, it's how you make it too.
Right. But we ain't talking about selling no weed.
I wasn't saying,
right.
Not necessarily saying that. Not saying things that are technically against the law. There are positions available that's not against the law, but in the Israelite school of youth, it's like
That's like it. There are positions and job opportunities available that are technically not against the law, but as a brother or sister in this school, we wouldn't take it on because of the nature of the job.
So are you referring to, let's say I'm a chef, $1 million chef, I big time chef, and I cook shrimp, crab, and lobster for people. Are you saying that I should leave that job and find another job because that job is not right to have?
I would say first I would get counsel on that. But being a chef wouldn't be one of those jobs. One of those jobs would be something like you the top district attorney, prosecutor. Your job is putting niggas away.
Right.
That's a job we wouldn't encourage any sister to take.
So if we had a sister that was a prosecutor in the school, we would tell her don't take the job.
I still would seek counsel, but I can see you not taking that job. Now, a defense attorney would be the job that she needs to get over to because that helps our people. Like being a cop, you can't help our people being a cop because once you turn on blue, they blackball you.
So I ain't tripping on. I'm gonna say it like this: if I was a cop, right, officer 5,000 Yazazak, police officer, I would get fired. Just like I got fired from all my other jobs. I would get fired from being a cop because I would not have any arrests of black suspects. Now, white people, they going to jail.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
They would kill you.
I would have respect of a person like they have respect of a person.
So what I'm saying, if you remember those cops that came forward, it was speaking on the corruption inside the force. One of the main reasons of why they was choosing to remain silent is because they will have you killed.
Right.
It's not a thing of just losing the job. Who cares about a job? Like you said, we can get fired, but for you to lose your life because you're trying to speak against, what's going on.
The simplest thing to do is to be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. I wouldn't be at work saying, I'm going to get all the white people. I would just be in my vehicle clocking all the white people, writing them tickets, bringing them in. And I would spare my brothers and sisters. And it wouldn't be public knowledge. It wouldn't be nothing that nobody would know. You know what I mean? Unless I got another officer in the school that ride with me, and we are both riding around tag teaming in River Oaks.
I have a question then.
Go ahead.
So you you're a rookie. You're with that veteran white cop,
right?
And you see or witness police corruption. What do?
I'm going to ride and do I'm not going to partake. I'm just going to be a rookie.
What I'm saying is, if you see them doing it to our people,
right?
Do you speak up or do you not speak up?
I speak up lightly, and I tell the brother, you put yourself in a predicament by selling weed. Don't sell weed, bro. Don't be around weed. Don't be around these niggas you hanging around. I give them that type of information, and I don't step out of my seat of being the laws unless, like General Haas. General Haas, he just hard, solid core. You know what I'm saying? But what I would do if I was in the position to be amongst that is I would sit there, I would learn the ins and outs, and then I would go against the grain, under the scale. I would get all the jobs from all the clubs where I know it's gonna be big fighting and drug dealing and all that. I would take the drugs and throw them away, and I would I would give them an opportunity instead of I would get enough rank into being a police officer to where when I say chill, I got it, the white police officers will know me and my people that I run with, we got it.
Now, if I may, and I don't want to seem contentious.
Go ahead.
That is fair. We even here we believe in you do the crime, you should do the time.
Right.
That's not considered the police corruption. The corruption is when a report came out that I think it was in Philly, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, where they was planning things. That's what I mean.
Right.
Where he didn't have any drugs, but we murdered him and planted the drugs. Or he didn't show any aggression, but we murdered him and falsified the police report.
Right.
That's the corruption that these officers are afraid of speaking up to.
Right.
That's what I mean by when that's what they have the so-called blue wall of silence about. It's not about them actually taking criminals in because they actually did that, but it's the ones who are not. The Sandra Bland case.
I feel you. I totally understand. I would help who I could help.
Right.
That's what I would be in there to help whoever I can. And you can't save them all.
Right.
But the ones that you can save, that's what I would do. I would watch a nigga write a full report and be like, I'm gonna turn it in and throw it away. He ain't finna check on it to see if the report in, because once it's in, it's in. You know what I'm saying? He'll just be waiting on his court date. Man, you heard about that court date of James yet? Jackson? They ain't said nothing yet. I turned it in, bro. You know what I'm saying? I turned it in. He gonna have to write another one. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I would make a way to be an inside advocate because that's what they got. They got the KKK is everywhere.
Right.
They in everything. They masked up, so we don't know who they are. They your dentists. They your doctors. That's what we need. We need niggas in the truth that are advocates that could actually prevent the destruction of our people. Even not all, but at least save some if they could. Until I get fired. When I get fired, I get fired. Oh well, just like I felt about the other jobs. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how I would deal with it. And I wouldn't run from them because they don't run from trying to help their people. I would be helping my people. I would be working in the hood. I would be trying to make sure the hood is good. And then when I need to go meet my quota, I'm going to revolts. That's just how I would do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. I ain't telling nobody to go be the laws. You know what I'm saying? And before I do that, I would get counsel.
Damn right.
Lucky. So that's just how it works. But there's nothing wrong with standing by your man. There's nothing wrong with, we finished this verse 37. Oh yeah, we just read it. And laid it at the apostles' feet. So what is important is giving to the men that's going to build your nation. America was not built just from George Washington. He had help. You know what I'm saying? Like the 13 original colonies were not just one man doing it. They had cliques and they all worked together with one spirit, with one mind, with one thought. That's what we are right now. These schools that we are establishing is the reestablishment of our nation. Go ahead. 13. Yeah, it was the 13 original colonies. And that is what we got to do. We got all these different schools. We got schools in every city, we got to, you get on YouTube or you get on Facebook and type in I.S.U.P.K. and it's just going to say Houston, Dallas, Indianapolis, Chicago, Minnesota, Canada, Trinidad, Nicaragua, UK, all the way down. And that's what all we do. We are one body, one mind, one spirit, working for one goal to put our nation back together so that we can get the hell out of hell. What's stopping us? Us. And what else? Money. We need money to build this nation. We need money to feed. As we build a nation, we still got to eat. You know what I mean? We still got bills to pay. So we need to be able to do this and be able to work and do all of this the right way. You know what I'm saying? To where it won't be a strain on nobody. And we got enough people in our nation to make it easy for every officer to be able to pay his rent from priest funds. Easy. The pastors are making millions, billions. These niggas is flying jets. You can't feed your brothers. You just hate your brothers. I ain't trying to go on a Christian tangent. I ain't trying to tell you to get a man of the Lord all your money, but get a man of the Lord all your money. Anybody got any more questions? I'm going to close the class out on that. Go ahead.
Okay, I was reading Matthew 16, chapter 16, at like around 11 to 13, I think it is. That's when when Jesus is asking his disciples, what do men say that he is? And they like list like John the Baptist, Elijah, people that have already died during this time. Does that mean that during that time that people recognize a form of reincarnation or the transferring of spirits?
They most definitely understood reincarnation. See, the Pharisees and the Sadducees used to fight against Christ about that. They used to try to battle Christ and say that there was no resurrection. But Christ is cutting them and letting them know that there is resurrection, there is reincarnation. Now, what this scripture that you're talking about is asking is, they all knew that Elijah was supposed to prepare the way for Christ. So he's asking them, who do people say I am? Do people say that I am the preparing of the Messiah? Do people say that I'm the man that's going to come before? Or do people actually say I am the Messiah? He's trying to see if anybody could tell that he was the one that actually came to fulfill the prophecy.
So, is there another form of Elijah coming before the coming of Christ again?
It was just supposed to be for him to come. See, they wasn't talking about, they didn't know anything about a second coming. Right. Oh, you saying now, is there another form of Elijah like?
Is that like a prophecy? I'm trying to understand. Then,
is there a prophecy of an Elijah that's going to come and prepare the way before Christ's return?
Yes.
No. The only prophecy was about the coming of Christ the first time. Because they thought when Christ came the first time, he was coming to reestablish the kingdom. Right then, they was like, oh, he here, the Messiah is here. That's just like, what we expect when Christ comes back this time is what? To get the kingdom. That's what they expected then. They was like, he coming back, we finna get the kingdom. He came like, hold up, wait, not yet. This ain't time. I gotta do something first. I gotta fix something. And then after that, then I'm gonna establish the kingdom. So that's what was happening then. Do you know who Elijah was in that time? Elijah was living during that time. Give me you know what I'm looking for, Blackwood? This is Elijah's already come.
He's already come?
I think it's like John. Let me get it for you. Let me help you out. Bobbity, bobbity, bobbity.
John 1 and 21.
Read it for me.
The book of John, chapter 1, verse 21. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no.
Keep reading.
Then said they unto him, Who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that sent us? What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah. And they which were sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him and said unto him, why baptize thou then, if thou be not that Christ, nor Elias, neither that prophet? John answered them, saying, I baptize with water.
Now, this is John the Baptist. I need when Christ says Elias has already come.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I need. That's what I need right there. Go ahead.
I don't know the scripture, but was that when like Jesus was speaking on how John the Baptist was one of the greatest men, of that time.
No, not that one. But go ahead, read
The
it.
book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 10. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall come first, and restore all things. But I say unto you, that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
Read.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them.
Keep reading.
Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Who was Elias? Sis? Who was Elias in the reincarnation? Who was John the Baptist? John the Baptist was the spirit of Elijah. No, not 7. He died hundreds, thousands of years before. Not thousands, hundreds. Okay, hundreds of years before this time. This was his reincarnation, right? That answer your question? So reincarnation is all over the Bible. Christ reincarnated. All of us have been here before. No, Christ reincarnated. No, it doesn't. That is Hinduism. That is reincarnation is that's cool. It's in the Bible, it's also called regeneration. Go ahead,
If I could, sir, because I ran into that on Facebook the other day when somebody was speaking on reincarnation. The problem is what they're saying is true to a certain extent, because there's only one true God, and back then everyone knew that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was the only true God. That's why everybody has a story of the flood, because these things actually happened. The belief of reincarnation is real, and Hindu or East Indians teach that, but they teach it wrong. They teach that you come back as a dog or as a cow, right? Because reincarnation is real, they have some of the truth, but because they're not in the truth or even of the bloodline of those who will receive the truth, they put it's like Christianity all over again.
Right. So this is what reincarnation really is. Christ, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you when Christ said it. Give me when Christ said to Peter in the regeneration. Matthew 19 and 27.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
What does that mean? What does that mean, sis? Do you understand what it means? Read it again. Matthew.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
So Peter is telling Christ, look, I done left my family, I done left my job, I done left my friends and everything to follow you. Keep reading.
What shall we have therefore?
What are we going to get? What's our reward going to be? Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
What does that mean? Good. I got you. Don't worry about it. This is trooper.
That when Christ comes back, with everybody, when Christ comes back, everybody that followed him will come back as rulers of the nation.
I was like, what?
That when Christ comes back, they're gonna get crowns.
Same thing. When Christ comes back, it's telling them that they're gonna rule the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And who is he talking to?
The disciples.
He's talking to the disciples. So the disciples are going to sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So what does that mean about the disciples right now? The angels, they are alive right now, waiting on Christ to return. They are walking on the earth as men, waiting for Christ to come back. You don't understand it? If you don't, then say it. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about those people that follow Christ will be rewarded with crowns and rulership. Give me Ecclesiasticus 30:4 to show you how life works. Life works just like the trees. In the winter, the trees die. In the spring, the same tree that dies comes back into the earth and lives again. Your spirit never dies. Your body, your flesh dies. And it goes into the dirt where it comes from. But your spirit comes back into the earth as a child. You come back all over again. Go ahead. Right. So when you die, all of you, your flesh goes to the earth. And your spirit goes before the Most High. And when you stand before the Most High, and your spirit stands before the Most High, you get judged. And the Lord tells you, all right, so the Lord sitting on the throne like, what say ye? And Christ and the angels is like, well, you know, he did this, he did. See, when you stand before the Lord, it ain't like standing before the white man. Because if you stand before the white man, all they're gonna talk about is what?
What you did bad.
The bad. But if you stand before the Lord, they're gonna talk about the bad and the good. So now we're going, all right, so he did do this, but he also did this. And he came in and did this and did that, and he stayed on that path. So, like, don't let him don't let him be raised under no crackheads. Let's give him some Christians. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's a hard one. Now, you know, that could be tricky. But, you know, we just got to trust that he going to hear his voice and come back to the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then you get sent back into the earth in whatever condition that you come back in the earth in. Raised under whatever family you raised under, go through whatever you got to go through, but that's how it works. Go ahead.
And what you're saying is so heavy because our culture is all over the judicial system.
Right.
Like if you think about court, you know, we all been to court. Mm-hmm. And the Most High sitting as the judge, you got Satan sitting as the prosecutor, mm-hmm. You got Christ and the angels sitting as the defendant, which makes it so much important that Christ came in sinful flesh, like his brothers, to be able to experience the things we experience in the flesh, to see how hard it is to fight some of these things off. And he can sit there and speak passionately on your behalf, right? Like because he's been through,
right?
You know, it's hard. The only reason why I got through, I'm the son of man,
right?
You know, or the son of you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, have some compassion on it, like you said. And another thing, what makes it, because Satan gonna do exactly what that white person doing in that on a prosecution, like you said, bring up all these bad things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is right on, sir.
And that's why the book of life is important for your name to be in, because the book of life has all the good things that you've done. Satan got the book of death. He got you. He got your number. But that book of life is we're going to record all of your righteous deeds. Now read the scripture.
Oh, that one come. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 30, verse 4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. Verse 6, he left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. And it's like he that maketh too much of his son shall bind him, so it's like shall bind up his wounds. And
Salaki, I gave you the wrong precept. It's 2 Ezra 14 and 35. Salaki, that's about your kids. Having somebody, you know what I'm saying? My bad, I gave you the wrong one.
You said 2 Ezra.
2 Ezra 14 and 35.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
There we go. Go ahead.
When we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest.
That's what's gonna happen. So after the death comes the judgment. So you stand before the Most High, you get your judgment, and then you come back in the earth and you live again, and you're waiting on the. Christ said that you have to endure until the end, right? What does that mean? Right. You got to stay in the truth all the way until Christ returns, until death. Then, when Christ returns, what's that day called? Judgment Day. Then we're going to find out if your works that you have done will get a crown put on your head or will get you killed. That's why in Revelation it talks about the first death and the second death. Not partaking in the second death because you partake in the first death. Meaning you took upon yourself to kill yourself. That's what you chose to do. Now you are not living for yourself anymore. You are living for Christ. So you partake in the first death. The second death is when Christ comes back and kills you for not killing yourself. You understand? So that's how it works. Reincarnation is all over the Bible. White man is the devil.
Right.
And you got any more questions before we close out the class? With that, we're going to pass the class over to Trooper Ron. Get that brother a hand.
Yeah, you say you got one? We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, out of the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Mayashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, which is Saturday, September 28, 2019, out of the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through and 25. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And these are the security announcements.
Madian Apanya Kodam, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn, face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English.
Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Balakutka.
Balakutka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Ashah.
Ashah.
Ma'arataza.
Ma'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Latananawa.
Latananawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Ko.
Ko.
Why Wayam.
Wayam.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Kabawaf Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Kabawaf Nawa.
Wala
Wala
double your iron now.
Double your iron now.
On the side one.
On the side one.
Above.
Above.
How you shine now?
How you shine now?
My gun.
My gun.
Right.
Right.
Kawak.
Kawak.
Lakab.
Lakab.
I'm a luck what?
I'm a luck what?
Waha Allah.
Waha Allah.
Waha Tapa Aran.
Waha Tapa Aran.
La I will love you.
I will love you.
Aman.
In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
Lead us not
into temptation.
But
deliver us. From evil.
From evil.
Thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
Power and the glory.
Power and the glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it.
Sorry. Two courtesy salutes. One to the brothers and the sisters. Mariam Shabbat. Majid. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yazmatah. Sorry. Mariam Shabbat. Majid. Barak.
Yahweh Shema Latah Hashem Yahushua.
Yazmatah. Dismiss. Wait, we had questions.